Welcome back to the QB Huddle podcast. I'm your co-host, Tim Smith, joined by the other co-host, Brandon Newey. We're so excited to be back because that means, guess what? Football season is right around the corner. We've made some changes to our show this year. We now have an entire team behind us. Our producers and editors, Mr. Brandon Franklin from New Era Media, as well as Mark Watson from Ninja Media. Sean Twix Edwards is taking over as our social media manager and content creator. And we're so excited to have everybody. Guys, thanks for being a part of this journey with us going into year 2. Brandon, how's your offseason been going, man?
What is up? It's been a while. We back now, baby. We back. Man, it's shit. You talking personally or just the offseason in general?
Well, I mean, if people don't know, you went through a little back surgery, which is why we kind of had to pull out of our UFL coverage. We've both been working on our golf game a little bit. So just tell the folks what's been going on with you recently.
Yeah, so recently I had back surgery in March and thought I was going to be, I'm medically 100% cleared, but this thing is going to take about a year to fix, right? So can barely sit in a chair more than 20 minutes. It's even aggravating sitting in this chair right now, despite the technical difficulties. But I've been working a little bit with a new swing change on my golf game. I was so close to shooting that 75 the other day, and then I messed it up on 15, and it looked just like the normal me. So, just been dialing in, man. As you know, I'm a quarterback trainer, and this is the biggest part of our season. Putting together.
Yeah, you've been busy.
These young guys, they're chasing scholarships. Some have gotten some scholarships, and others are chasing those. And so it's big opportunities for those guys. We train all year round. I think we've had like already 30 sessions in. We've got about 10 more left, 10, 15 more left. And, it's off to do their thing. But shout out to those young guys and their hard work and their diligence and being prepared, not having to talk to mom and dad all the time. They're really doing a good job of being really communicating on a different level than they used to. So kudos to them.
Nice.
But yeah, man, I've been really busy, especially with that little 3-year-old running around too. So
yeah, for sure.
What about you, man? What about you, man?
Things have been great. Did some traveling. My wife and I went to Missouri over the 4th of July. Of course, we've been heavily engaged with the new AGA, Athletic Golfer Association. We had our first big tournament about a month ago. We've got another one coming up this Sunday. So, hey, y'all that are listening to the QB Huddle, you're in the Dallas area, Texas area, you want to be part of the AGA, you're an avid golfer, come on down. Come on, be a part of what we're doing on the golf course because we're having a great time. Actually, B. Franks, our producer, filmed the last outing that we had, and that went all over social media. Yeah, so big time. That was a lot of fun. Like you, I'm going through swing changes because I have a coach that I've been working with for about 6 months now. And I just shot my best round ever over the weekend, shot an 84, which has been great because, guys, I've been 95, 98, 97. Brandon's been there to see all the struggles. It's been pretty ugly, but it seems like something's clicking. And folks, if you don't hit the ball far, get yourself a 7-wood. I did that. Newey actually told me that he's been telling me for a couple months. I went and got myself a 7-wood and shot my best round ever. So shout out to the 7-woods.
Well, I think the difference for you is, and I know we're going on this golf trip, it's all about having fun, man. We are not pro golfers. Like, we're not going to go out there and shoot 65 every day. It looks like it on the video game, but in reality, golf is a different beast, man. I think it's very comparable to the quarterback position as far as having that short-term memory, being able to put that shot behind you. Sometimes that pressure really builds up, right? And you just got to stay calm and focus on what you can control. I translated to the game. It's not fairly easy, but the mentality of it is something I really enjoy. For some reason, I like to enjoy struggle a little bit if you're not good at it. And, just as former athletes of the AGA, there's a bunch of former athletes, former football guys, baseball guys, basketball guys. It's like having a new locker room. I think the most, when I got put out the game in 2019, I didn't miss the hits. The touchdowns were cool, the games were cool, but I missed the camaraderie. I missed the locker room. I missed being with the brothers and just having fun and knowing you're going to battle. And on those bus rides, I feel like the AGA has created a new locker room for me. And so I'm really excited about it. You guys having me feel like I'm Roger Goodell, so I have to make every decision. I don't want to make any decisions. It's just really just building a brotherhood and just bringing that out of us and bringing the best out of us, getting to compete again. Or even so, like you said, Tim, have fun. It's have fun playing
Yeah.
golf. We got skin matchups. It was $2,400 on the line. We had a guy who's not even 21 yet, Brady. He won $800 and took home a
Shout out to
trophy.
Brady.
He gets his trophy this week, and it was really cool to see because he did it in front of his dad, and that was cool. And he was also on a struggle bus, and then, hey, pressure makes you or breaks you, and he thrived in it, and so kudos to him. And we got the AGA championship at Buffalo Creek this week, and
Woo.
we'll see how it goes, man. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Nobody has played this course yet, so we'll see.
Should be even. Although I hear a handful of y'all are cheating and going out there on Friday.
Yeah, we're gonna go test the waters a little bit.
Yeah, bunch of cheaters.
I wasn't invited. Get a lay
I
of the
wasn't
land.
invited to that. I don't know why
That
you
ain't
don't
my
invite the
problem.
worst golfer. But hey, whatever.
You're not the
I don't
worst
need to see it
golfer,
first.
bro.
Folks, I'm going to tell you, if I played football the way I played golf, we wouldn't be doing this QB Huddle podcast today.
I need some film, Tim.
That's
I
for
still
sure.
need that film. I need you to go get your VHS, blow
Mark
it
Watson
off.
told you. Mark Watson told you from firsthand experience what to look for. Yeah,
I need film.
I ain't got none of it. So, at any rate, by the way, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention. You talked about video games for golf. But yesterday, folks.
My goodness.
Yesterday, folks, we got that early access to NCAA. I know most of you did. Man, that's been a lot of fun so far. And I threw a double pass with Oregon last night for a touchdown. Sent you the video. I mean, I jumped off the couch like I was really watching the game on TV. That thing, it's fun, it's hard, it's exciting. I mean, it's just it's 11 years in the making.
Madden's got to step up.
They do.
This is the year for Madden to step up, and EA is looking at that, right? I mean, both games are EA, but just the way the atmosphere, the controls, I'm not a fan of the RPO. I feel it really just regulates you to one side of the field. You really can't scan it. I don't like that. But other than that, man, it is a very, very good game. It's a really good game so far. So I look forward to having a match with you, and we're going to play on Heisman, not All-American, okay?
I'm never touching Heisman. I was getting beat on All-American last night like a drum. Hey, listen, if you guys want to have the true Brandon Newey experience, if you want to pretend like you're Brandon Newey, go play with the Oregon Ducks and take Gabriel, Dylan Gabriel. He's a little left-handed guy. He's the same size as Brandon. Brandon's a little heftier than him now, but hey, the dude can run. He's throwing. Yeah, he's only like 202. I think you're.
Bro, I'm 205.
Oh, you're down to 205. Okay.
Yeah, so bro, I lost like 20 pounds during my back surgery. How dare you?
Yeah, so, hey guys, that's what I did last night. I just pretended like I was Brandon. I had a great day. I threw 6 touchdowns. I ran for 2 more. Oregon Ducks, best team I played with so far.
That's nice. It's good, man.
Let's get into this, man, because we're here to talk about quarterbacks. We've got college quarterbacks, NFL. We've got a new season, but let's go hot topics. The first one that comes to mind to me, being here in Dallas, Dak Prescott not signed. As you, not a Dallas Cowboy fan, give me your outsider look at what that means for Dak Prescott, what that means for the Dallas Cowboys for this season.
He didn't sign an extension, correct?
Has he? Yeah, he's already gotten the big contract.
So I understand why he did it. Being a $40 million quarterback, the market has drastically changed. Obviously, it's probably looking north of 60. Is he worth it? I don't think any quarterback is worth $100 million plus dollars. I just don't. I've always said it. It cripples your team big time. If you're going to do a deal like that, I mean, I feel you should take that 3-year deal, still gamble on yourself. Because if you take a longer deal, there's language in that contract that they can get out of, right? And so, is Dak a good quarterback? He's a really good quarterback. I like watching him. I like his energy. I like his leadership. I would just love to see him take that next step. And I feel it's been the stigma for probably 20 plus years. And this goes all the way back past Romo. You just haven't gotten over the hump yet. If you just get to a conference title game, that's it. That's good. And it's good enough to sustain, to be like, okay, we're going to give you this money. Continue to do this. We expect you to be here. But I feel like right now, Jerry Jones is probably a little frustrated. You know, Father Time is not on his side right now, right? As the quote from Life, you own Dick, right? So he ain't going back, right? He's moving forward. But I feel Dak Prescott has the leadership. He's got the mentality that you want in a quarterback. I mean, he checks all the boxes. I mean, he was one of the most accurate passers. He had some of the most. What was he, number one in yards, number one in touchdowns, despite not making it past the wild card. Um, Proofs in the pudding. Great regular season quarterback, but when it comes to the playoffs, I mean, he's only got 2 wins, and so
I'm not
you
even
got to
talking
move
about the
forward there.
wins.
Well,
You know,
I get that, but it's just more to me. It's just when I think of $100 million+ quarterback or 200 million, whatever you want to call it, I need you to get to the dance.
yeah.
At least be in the hunt for the dance, not the wild card spot. Get to the dance, like get to the NFC title game. You have to get there. No ifs, ands, or buts. If not, all else fails, at least win that wild card. You can't lose to a first-year starter in your home turf, and he ends up looking like Aaron Rodgers. And that's the last we saw you, looking like a deer in headlights. It's the same look when he gets blown out, and it's like, how do you overcome that? I'm a believer in Dak Prescott, even being a Niner fan. I feel he's taking a good step, especially with McCarthy being in that second year, him being able to change the plays at the line of scrimmage. Enable for Dak to be successful, he needs a run game. He needs a run game. And so I'll leave it at that, man. But should they sign him? Yeah, they should sign him. Who else are going to play? Trey Lance?
Do not sign Dak again, and I'm going to say why. We already paid him the big contract that he wanted, that he held out that deal. He didn't want to sign the contract a year early. He wanted to wait. He wanted all this money. He kind of pushed Jerry into a corner. And at that point, yes, we didn't have any other options. There was really nothing else for us to do. And we signed Dak to the big contract for the potential of what we thought we could get out of him. Since then, it's been nothing but a disappointment, right? Nothing but a disappointment. Regular season, great. I mean, 12 wins 2 years in a row. He even had me fooled last year. I was wearing the Dak jersey all over the place. I was talking about MVP, all this kind of thing. And listen, I went to that Green Bay game, and people can talk about the defense, but when you start the game with a pick six, and then you throw an interception that ends up in your, I think it was inside the 20 Green Bay ended up in, and then you can't get a first down until the third quarter, I think it was. That's on you, man. What do you expect the defense to do at that point? You knew that Green Bay was coming in hot. You knew they were going to score some points, regardless of how good you might have been on defense. And I didn't agree with the defensive plan. But the fact that you couldn't move the ball on offense at all, not even get a first down. And this isn't the first time we've seen Dak Prescott look completely poor. I mean, he looked like a rookie in a lot of these big playoff games. And as a San Francisco 49er fan, you should want Dak Prescott to stay on the Dallas Cowboys, because nobody thought that the Cowboys, even though everyone assumed they would get past Green Bay, wouldn't get any farther than that. And why weren't they going to get any farther? Because of number 4. Everybody knew it. Everybody pointed to Dak Prescott and how he plays in the playoffs. The one thing you could say about Tony, he never played bad in the playoffs. He just never did. He always kept the Cowboys going. He was always stepping up to the plate. Dak has yet to do so. So for me, I'm done. I'm out. I'm 100% done with Dak. We can look at Trey Lance. He's going to get all the preseason reps. Man, maybe you look at drafting a quarterback next year, because to be honest with Cowboy fans, this season's not shaping up so well for us. We're down O-line. We don't have a true running back. I mean, what are we going to get from Zeke? We don't know. CeeDee Lamb's holding out. He may not play. Our defense, we lost a corner. We lost Van Der Esch. Gosh, the Cowboys could be an 8-win team this year. So maybe we draft a quarterback and start over, because I'm done with the Dak Prescott experience. I'm out on it.
Now, going back to that, Tim, I mean, you said Romo always showed up in these playoff games. Didn't he? Never mind.
I mean, you'd have.
I don't want to relive the fumble. I don't want to relive throwing in triple coverage to end the game versus the Giants. I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. You for the highlights of Tony Romo. I remember the crucial moments that people.
Crucial moments. Let's break down what you just said. How he threw the triple coverage. Why did he have to make that throw?
Because I don't know.
Oh, you don't know.
Most quarterbacks just want to throw in triple coverage.
No, let me explain it to you, because you're smarter than to make that comment. That's for the average Cowboy fan who doesn't know any better.
I'm definitely not a Cowboy fan.
Not long before that interception happened, he hit Patrick Crayton for what would have been a game-ending touchdown. Patrick Crayton dropped the ball. On the next play, on third down, he hits him once again for what would have been, you assume a game ending because they could have winded the clock down, first down catch, which he proceeds to drop again. The defense comes on the field, and Eli Manning goes right down the field and scores a touchdown and gives Romo, I think, a minute left in the game.
Eli.
Yes. Did he try to go to TO on a last-minute heave? Yes, because best receiver in the game at that point. Best
in
receiver
triple coverage. In triple coverage. What is your job as a quarterback? What's your job as a quarterback? What's your job as a quarterback?
All right, you're going to put that on Romo. That's ridiculous.
Deliver the mail. I mean, quarterbacks take the wins and the falls. I mean, you're putting it all on Dak. It's not all on Dak.
Dak's
The defense played
terrible, though. Watch the game.
Played like shit.
Watch who?
The defense played terrible.
Yeah, defense is going to play terrible when you put them in a 14-0 hole.
No. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
14-0 hole.
It doesn't matter. All the shit they talk, the big hype, all this, it doesn't matter. You lost to a first-year starter, and he looked like a first-team All-Pro.
Bro, when you look at your first-team quarterback, QB1 in a playoff game, and his eyes are this big, as though he's never touched a football field before, it's time to move on, and he did that against San Fran twice. He did it last year against Green Bay. He looks lost in those moments. I need a clutch guy. I need somebody that's got something in him.
You're not going to find a clutch guy in the draft because you're not going to draft that low. Because you're still going to be a 10-plus win team, Tim.
We may not be. I'm telling you, our team is decimated. We may not win 8 games. How about that? What if CeeDee Lamb doesn't play?
I mean, you're going to have to pay him, too. That's like a $30 million guy.
That's why I'd rather pay CeeDee Lamb than Dak Prescott. We've already lost
so
Bryant because of Dak Prescott.
So do you move to Cooper Rush?
We've lost 2 A1 receivers because of number 4. I'm not willing to lose a third A1 class receiver because of our quarterback. I'm not willing to do that as a fan. I'm not happy about that.
I mean, it's
go
understood.
Chargers if that happens.
But
if we trade CeeDee Lamb, go Chargers. That's all I can tell you.
Look, man, every quarterback goes through this thing during their moments. Peyton Manning had a horrible playoff run until he finally got the big one, right? He was known as a regular season quarterback.
Bro,
and but I'm just telling you right now, statistically.
Oh, my God.
You're not hearing me. The only reason why you're saying you can't put him in that class is because Peyton Manning has 2 Super Bowl wins. But prior to those 2 Super Bowl wins, he was absolutely dog water in the playoffs.
Okay. How long did that take? I bet it didn't take 8 seasons.
It took a long time.
9 seasons.
It took a long time, Tim. It took a long time. It took a long time for him to get over that
hump.
We're
also talking about a number 1 drafted quarterback compared to a 4th round quarterback that was never supposed to play a single snap.
I think that's even more impressive than what Manning had to go. I think that's more impressive, actually.
I think he's holding us hostage. I think that Jerry Jones is in love with him for some reason.
I think the market is holding
wants
him
to
hostage.
Be right.
That's what it is. He's only dictating what the market is, man. He's not trying to move on his own needle. The market is what the market is. So you mean to tell me that he's not better than Trevor Lawrence, who's now a $200 million quarterback? Get out of here, man.
I don't think either one of them are any good.
None of them are.
None
of them are. None of them should be worth this much money, but that's what the market is. And, hey, you just got to keep pushing forward. But I think right now, if you're in a situation, you probably want to pay Dak because if you end up going 3 years later, it's probably going to be like $65, $70 million. So you might want to get him on the cheap end right now.
We're not going to
even though it's considered high.
Cheap end. No.
Even though it's considered high. Dak signed for what, $40 million a year? $40 million a year 4 years ago, and the market's already damn near at 60.
Yeah, the
Come
market
on, bro.
the market for
you better get him now. You better get him now. If you're going to do it, you got to get him now. That's just the reality of it.
Why are we talking about the market though? The market is for top tier quarterbacks. He is
Lawrence is a top tier quarterback.
No, he shouldn't have gotten the contract he got.
Dak's a top 10 quarterback.
Why
bro.
does after Dak already got a top 10 contract? Now it's a couple of years later that contract is up. He's ready for a new contract. You're telling me today he deserves another top 10 quarter. I'll give him a top 15 to 20 contract, but he won't take that. So let him go to free agency.
None of them will.
And let's see what the market is for your sorry ass. Let's see it.
I don't think he's that bad, Tim. I think you're.
I want to see what the market is for Dak
I think you're
Prescott.
a little over exaggerating with Dak.
I don't like him. I want to see what the market is for him.
You loved him last year. You even had your little 4 jersey going on.
Yeah,
oh, it's Dak.
Versus Green Bay. And reminded me who he really
Romo
is.
used to shit the bed.
He never shat the bed in the playoff game. Ever.
All right. Ever. Yeah, this is going viral. This is going to be a good one. because that is exactly what Romo's known for. He's not known
No,
for
he's
regular
not.
season
It's
games.
a false narrative.
It's not a false narrative.
You're
it's the
watching.
reality
That's
of it.
only if you just look at the stat line or
lose?
watch ESPN.
Did you lose?
Oh my God! It wasn't.
Did you lose?
It wasn't because of him.
Was it in his hands?
We never lost the game because Tony Romo shit the bed ever.
Okay.
Just because you throw a pick on the last play on a Hail Mary type of situation doesn't mean you shit the bed. Oh my God. Okay, let's move on.
Next.
I need to take my blood pressure medication. My head's getting red.
With your audio all messed up, I'm getting you fired up
today. We're going to have a whole show, Dak versus Tony, and I'm going to break it down for everybody on a real simple term.
Tony is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott, but the narrative is still the same. Tony only had two playoff wins. Dak had two playoff wins. Never got past the divisional round. Next.
Tony never had a team built like Dak has had the last 4 years, ever.
That's a lie.
Not even close. Not even close.
Lie. Not with DeMarcus Ware and T.O. and all those guys. Yeah, right. Those dudes were
that was like 1 year they had that all put together. And we ran into the Giants. What do you want to do?
You ran into an 8-8 Giants. You ran into the 8-8 Giants. That's what you ran into.
Everybody ran into the 9-7 Giants.
Into the 9-7.
They were 9-7. They were 9-7, and they're the same Giants team that went to Green Bay and beat Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, and the same Giant team that beat the undefeated Patriots. So I don't want to hear about it. They were 9-7, and they got hot.
You still lost. You know that team better than anybody because you play them twice.
Oh my God!
Did you beat them twice in the regular season? Yes or no?
You're just a hater. We're gonna move on.
I'm not a hater. I'm a real. That's reality.
Listen, so I heard this the other day. This will be our last hot topic for this little segment here, but I feel like he's going to be a part of a lot of our shows moving forward. But Cam Newton recently compared himself to Josh Allen. Now, I could see 2015 Cam Newton, that one season, maybe you can make that comparison to a Josh Allen, although I would argue that from a throwing the ball perspective, it was never close, not even 2015. I get the yards and everything. What I'm talking about is the actual throws that can be made by Josh Allen compared to damn near anybody else we've ever seen. That Cam Newton just didn't have that sort of ability. I'm talking about rolling to your left, flipping your hips and throwing the ball 80 yards down the right sideline. Cam Newton couldn't do that. Josh Allen can. Josh Allen can. I've seen him do it.
Yeah, you definitely haven't watched enough Cam Newton.
I watched a lot of Cam Newton.
No, you did not.
So what are you going to say?
No, dude, prime Cam Newton was insane. The dude was a freaking cyborg. Running, he threw for 4,000 yards as a rookie. Rookie. With Steve Smith, a 5'9" receiver, is his number one guy. Cam has never had that talent around him. I'm not discrediting him, but what I'm saying is he's never had top elite wide number one receiver talent around him.
So pure ability, you think Cam Newton had the same throwing ability as Josh Allen? You think that?
You mean to throw 80 yards? Yes, Cam could throw 80 yards.
Be accurate.
Is that what you're meaning? Rolling out to the right, a less than 1% chance anybody ever attempts to make that throw? Yeah, he can do that probably. I guarantee you. When he was fully healthy, bro, Cam used to throw through tight window cup. Man, I can show you a whole highlight tape on Cam Newton of just throwing.
All right, let me ask you this.
He was really good, bro.
Who would you rather watch throw the ball? Who looks less painful when he throws the ball, Cam or Josh? Who has the better mechanics? I don't think he's changed it.
Did you know Josh Allen actually changed his mechanics to more rotational than over the top?
Yes.
So he was a 50% completion guy, right, in college. He changed it more rotational driven. He does have good moments. I mean, he does throw the ball very well. I'm not taking that away from him, but I'm also not going to take away from one of the greatest athletes we've ever seen at quarterback in the history of football and just dethrone him like he wasn't shit. Hold on, bro.
I'm not
hold on. He took Auburn.
He has no throne. But if you were making a team today,
he has no throne. He's the best college quarterback ever.
No, he's not. Tim Tebow's the best college quarterback ever.
No.
And I don't even like Tim Tebow. I hate Tim Tebow.
No.
How are you going to say no?
Bro, do I need to take you back?
Hell, I would take Vince Young. I'll take Vince Young before I take either of them.
No.
Yes. Did you see what he did against
No.
USC in the
Did
best
you see
national
what
championship
Cam
game
Newton
ever?
did with no players drafted in Auburn, and he took them to a national title in his first year ever starting, coming from JUCO? Do you realize Cam Newton was on that Florida team as a freshman?
And then, I mean, so he was on a Florida
Tim
team.
Tebow was freaking Jesus. Like, he wasn't going to play over him, unfortunately, but
Exactly.
Tim Tebow
Listen,
was not better than Cam Newton.
I'm not a Tim Tebow fan, but it's widely considered that he is the best by far.
His body of work, his body of work over years. You got to think, Tim was what, a 3-year starter? Started a little bit his freshman year with Chris Leak. His body of work says that. But in that one season, there was nobody as dominant as Cam Newton in college football. In the SEC, there was nobody.
The SEC is no different than any other conference.
Oh, Lord.
Come on, man.
Oh, Lord.
Matter of fact, Sean and I, we just talked about this the other day. The SEC's got, 3 or 4 top teams. So does the Big Ten. So does the Big 12.
In Cam Newton's day?
I don't believe we're okay. We'll just crown him.
Listen.
You're making a team today, Brandon. Who are you drafting? Both coming out of forget college. You know what you know now about Josh Allen, because coming out of college, nobody thought Josh Allen was going to be who he is. So give Josh Allen 2 years into the NFL, Josh Allen, when you know what he is, and we'll say 2015 Cam Newton. Who are you drafting?
Who won an MVP and who didn't?
Who cares about MVP? That's a media award.
It's
always been a media award. Who are you drafting? Answer the question.
Dominated that 15-year.
Who are you drafting for the long haul?
Simple. Cam Newton.
Okay, well, Josh Allen is going to end up having a much better career than Cam Newton. I promise you, because he's going to play a lot longer, and he's not.
Well, he also plays in a different era. He plays in a more pass-happy league. Cam Newton did a lot more running. Right, he was more of a hybrid guy.
The thrower that Josh Allen is. Josh is the best of both worlds to me.
He's not the best.
Cam was a great runner, average passer.
Josh. Look, I like Josh. I'm not taking it away from Josh.
I know you do.
But, dude, Cam already had an MVP. Cam was the first rookie to throw for 4,000 yards in a season. Cam was the rookie of the year. Cam was the offensive player of the year. Cam was a Heisman Trophy winner. Cam he has a national championship in 1 year of college football. Then he turns around and then he goes on a run. Where were they, like 15-1? They were 15-1. They were 15-1. He had 40+ total touchdowns. He didn't turn the ball over as roughly as Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the number 1 quarterback in interceptions since stepping into the league. Since 2020, he has thrown 53 interceptions.
I'm aware.
Well, what do you mean? What's your job as a quarterback? Take care of the football.
Forget college. Look at the NFL.
I'm talking about pro.
Cam Newton had 2 good years in the NFL. Josh Allen has had nothing but good years in the NFL.
Where did Josh Allen end up? Did he go to a Super Bowl? Did he get an MVP?
No, but let's look at who beat Josh Allen in the AFC title game. The best quarterback in the game.
Story's over.
Story's not over, because I'll bet you right now Josh Allen will play in a Super Bowl before he retires. And he's already played.
Unless he moves from the Buffalo Bills. That's the only way that's going to happen.
He's already played in more conference championship games than Cam played in.
How many have Josh played in? 1?
2. He's played in 2 conference championships.
He played in 1, brother. He played in 1 divisional. He lost in the divisional.
I could be the same. He's gonna. I'm telling you, he is a better quarterback. He's going to play in a Super Bowl before it's over. He's going to have a better career. Cam had 2 good seasons. That was it.
Okay, but also Josh Allen has had a number 1 wide receiver as well.
Well, now he doesn't, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Ooh.
Is that going to change things?
Now that spins. We're going to see how really good this dude is, because when you have a Stephon Diggs who has great separation, Gabe Davis to complement him, they had a powerful offense.
You got to hold on to that. We're gonna get to that.
Hey man, I'm just telling. Like, I'm just tired of people just burying Cam like he just wasn't shit. Like, Cam was a generational talent. There are still people that are comparing him. It doesn't matter, Tim.
Yeah,
like, he had a great career. He hurt his shoulder. What do you want him to do? We can say Joe Burrow's super great, but if he gets injured this year, then he's just damaged goods.
You're right.
Just like Cam Newton. They both have the same accomplishments.
I understand. You're right.
Listen, you just hate Cam. It's a preference.
I don't hate Cam.
I get it.
He annoys me. I don't hate him. I don't know him to hate him.
Personality a little too big for you? No,
I don't care. Listen, I don't care about personality. You can do what you want to do. You can be who you want to be. Do I think that he just comes out on his little podcast and says a bunch of bullshit so we can get attention? Yes.
Tim, let me ask you this. If you won a national championship, if you won a Heisman, if you're a number 1 draft pick, if you signed for a $100 million deal, you took your team to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
You ain't going to talk your shit? Come on now.
But I wouldn't just
Come on now.
absurdities like he does.
You don't? Shit, you saying obscurities now.
I can say what I want. I'm not.
Yeah. Or you can say what you want. It's the freedom of speech. Here it is.
Say whatever Cam wants to say. I just don't have to agree with it.
Cam, I love you, dog. I love you, man. Hey, I remember when I was sitting. A long story back. I'm back in college and I played D2 ball, but this is when Cam was at Blinn, and my offensive coordinator had. This was going into our senior year, and Cam's at Blinn, and we saw film of him. And he was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about recruiting this quarterback here," and I see this freaking mastodon on film running and going. I was like, I immediately thought, hey, man, I'll play slot. That dude was a freak. I was like, hey, man, give me the rock. I get you 80 catches.
I will say this. The one thing that
it was a freak, bro.
Cam really, exactly, he had on his side is that he was a physical freak. And that doesn't make you a great player, but it certainly helps you to where when you're running and you're bigger than every linebacker on the field, hell, in college, you're bigger than every D lineman on the field, you're going to be dominant. And he's like LeBron James. He's just gifted with this huge athletic. But
I don't think that's true. We've seen a lot of heavyweight quarterbacks that aren't as talented or can move or is as nimble as Cam Newton in his prime.
I'm saying he was blessed with size and speed, was he not?
Yes, he was a bigger version of Vince Young.
There you go.
With better mechanics, actually.
And a team that actually wanted him when they drafted him.
Well, I will say this too. Did Cam really get a fair shot at having a savant as an offensive coordinator?
I mean, he went to New England where, everyone was told that it was the system, and he couldn't do anything. Nothing.
He actually did. He was actually completing at a high level before he injured again and got COVID.
I mean, we talk about the COVID thing. COVID doesn't make you throw the ball into the dirt. And I saw him throwing curl.
Tim, he tore his rotator cuff, bro.
Well, then
you
don't play.
Know that of your damaged shoulder. Then don't play. Wow. I mean, don't play. And you're still making over. If you're still making $1 million plus, you're definitely gonna play, Tim. Come on,
bro,
man.
Listen, I have a torn rotator cuff. I can't throw a ball more than 30 yards. I'm not gonna go try to play football.
But if you're getting paid $1 million, you bet your ass you're gonna figure out a way to go get things
trying to do that.
Go play.
Oh, God damn! By doing that.
Come on, man. Next subject, man.
New England. That's why they cut him.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
They cut him.
Okay.
They said, "Get out of here. Go back to Carolina." And he wasn't any good in Carolina either.
Hey, man,
he was so bad in Carolina that they had to draft Bryce Young.
He is
into perspective. Anyway, let's move on. They did. They had to draft Bryce Young, and that's not really working out either as of right now. So let's look at early into 2024 because we got some changes that have gone out throughout the league. We've got a lot to talk about throughout the year, but just a few quick notes. Wilson and Fields together to the Steelers, and Fields has been seen returning kicks. What do you think about Russell Wilson, and will Justin Fields ever get to play quarterback in Pittsburgh? For some reason, I just don't think he'll get to.
I think this is an opportunity for both quarterbacks to resurrect their careers. Not saying Fields' career is over or Russell's, but I feel like having a player-coach kind of relationship like Mike Tomlin, giving them autonomy to be themselves and not just be stuck in a box, I think it's very important for them both. Will both of them play? I think they will. Fields is just so athletic that you got to keep his athleticism on the field. It's just a freak. It's a good player. I didn't think he read defenses very well. And I think that's something to develop over the time. Hopefully that offensive coordinator, I know they got a new one that, they could grab the bull by the horns and roll. But Wilson has to really set a veteran tone here. And if he can set that veteran tone, it's going to be more ideal for him. But outside of that, just hoping for an opportunity to get to play and just go hard when you do it.
And like you, I am looking forward to see if Russell Wilson can resurrect his career. And Justin Fields, I would love to see him get some opportunities to be a part of this team in some way, not necessarily returning kicks, maybe be a part of the offense in some way.
Hmm.
But let's go up to Minnesota. My favorite quarterback coming out of college, because I am a Michigan fan, was J.J. McCarthy. I also think he has the most tools to be successful in the NFL that translate. But he's going up there, and Sam Darnold has been signed by the Minnesota Vikings. Will Sam Darnold, in your opinion, having had to watch him in San Francisco, will he beat out J.J. McCarthy? And will he be number one, at least for the first half of the year or so, up there in Minnesota?
I'm gonna say yes until the seeing ghosts happens, right? I think the good thing for Darnold is he's already been under this offense, right? This is the same exact offense as Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay, minus a few tweaks, right? He's got a quarterback friendly offensive coordinator who used to play ball back in the day. He was a beast in college, but I think this does translate. He's a younger guy. He can relate to him. Sam has not really had a lot of good. I would say it hasn't been good for his career right now. I mean, he's a turnover machine, but I think this is a great bridge opportunity for him. But this is also an opportunity for Sam to really showcase his ability. Sam is extremely talented. Let's not take that away from him. I think it's best for right now JJ McCarthy because he doesn't throw past 25 attempts in college. I don't think except like 2 games, and it was atrocious versus man coverage at Purdue. This is a great opportunity for him to learn. I think a lot of these rookies coming in, I think the pressure is immense. I think it's best to sit and watch a vet do it. But is Sam the best vet to watch? Probably not, but he can learn a lot from him of what not to do. And so I think right now, Sam is going to beat out JJ, but it's only a matter of time because you gotta go with your investment sooner or later. I think the first quarter of the season will figure it out. And then it could either be, hey, JJ's ready to run, or he's not ready. So
It's hard for me to give an opinion on this because he does get knocked for the type of offense that he played for in college. The only thing I would say is that when, outside of the couple of bad throws versus Purdue, you look at the throws that he did make in the big games, particularly in the
hmm
playoffs, when they asked him to step up and be the guy, he was able to deliver. So that gives me a lot of confidence in JJ McCarthy. Plus, how he did at the combine, I thought he shined like a very bright star in the combine, and his pro day was out of this world. I mean, he was perfect. I think he missed maybe one throw the entire day. So I don't think
everybody
that
looks good in shorts and t-shirts.
I I agree, but I saw other quarterbacks missing more than one throw throughout their entire pro day.
Some
But
guys are gamers, some guys aren't.
I don't think Sam Darnold is a better quarterback. I think JJ has that special innate winning ability. I think
hmm
he knows how to win. He knows how to get the best out of his teammates. I
hmm
think he's going to bring that to the NFL, which is going to make him
Right.
special. In that, I don't think he's the most athletically gifted. I don't think he's going to be the best passer we've ever seen, but he has that will, right? He has
He's a
that will.
winner.
Sam Darnold, I think, should start. I do. I think Sam Darnold should start. So you let JJ kind of get a feel, be in Kevin O'Connell's back pocket, for the first 6 weeks or so,
Right.
and then once the season is, maybe they can compete, and Sam's doing great, keep him in. But if the season gets out of hand, the Vikings are out of playoff contention. Make the change. Let JJ struggle for the second half of the year, and then let him take over next year and see what they can do.
Right.
I think Sam should start. Now let's go to San Francisco, your favorite place in the world. Brock Purdy is going to get his first full season as QB1, or his first full offseason as QB1 without an injury, and he's bulked up a little bit. How are you feeling about your quarterback having his first full year as QB1 in training camp?
I'm happy for him. I'm excited. He's got a lot to improve on, but Brock's a stud. He's got stuff you can't teach. He's either you got it or you don't. His improvisation in the pocket, his ability to move in and out of it, his processor is elite. Is he the most talented quarterback? No, but we did see Brock struggle a little bit, and especially in rainy games, just different type of bad weather games. He's not that good of a thrower when it comes to those games. Even though he played in Iowa State, um, I definitely hope he worked on his wet ball drill, especially trying to be able to throw in the rain. But I think this is a great opportunity for Brock. And what I just heard, just recently is Brandon Ayuk just requested a trade. So that's breaking news.
Oh, breaking
And
news.
that that is not a good thing. That's not. It's not. I think BA really adds a nuance to our offensive consistency. Um, I feel bad for the guy. It's just a situation where the market is so high and you're demanding Justin Jefferson money or St. Brown money, and you don't get the targets that they do. We're the last in passing attempts, right? Because we have a well-oiled machine that we really run that zone scheme very well. We do all types of different reverses, quick screens, and things. BA is a true natural receiver. Do I think he's a number one? I don't. I think he's a true number two, but I think having him in your back pocket for Brock Purdy gives him more comfort. And I think this may be a little bit of a struggle. And you should move your camera the way you had it.
I am.
I think right now, I think seeing a full season, off season with Brock Purdy, I think we're going to see some great things. He's only going to continue to get better. The kid's a stud, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what he can do with it, even if he doesn't have BA. I think the emergence of Ricky Purcell is very crucial to this offense, but Jawan Jennings has definitely been a security blanket for him, as well as Deebo Samuels and George Kittle. So maybe these are opportunities for George Kittle to get more targets, for Jennings to get more targets, for Deebo to get more targets. Best of luck to BA. He's a great player, but I don't think with us passing the ball the way we do, you're not a $30 million guy.
Outside looking in, as not a 49er fan, Brandon Ayuk is my least favorite receiver on your team. I feel like he has one of the more selfish attitudes compared to what I've seen from Deebo and Kittle, and those are team guys, and McCaffrey. And it seems like everybody wants the best for everybody, and Ayuk wants to get his money and he wants to get his catches.
Well, Deebo did the same thing last year. Not to cut you off.
Like I said, outside looking in. I'm only seeing what Netflix is showing me. I'm not a 49er fan, so I don't pay that much attention. I felt like, especially, just coming off that Super Bowl, I feel like you should be bought in, and I feel like he's been a little bit selfish with the targets and all that kind of thing. So yeah. I think it's going to be good for Brock to get rid of that type of personality and have everyone bought into Brock Purdy and let him distribute the ball as he needs to. I think he's a great quarterback. He's one of the better passers. Definitely has one of the better processors in the league. So, to me, I think it'll be a good thing for you guys.
We'll see.
I think the team will gel, and I think you're right. Some of those guys will get more targets that really need them.
Yep, so, absolutely.
How about Kyler Murray? He's got a new staff, and he's coming off injury. Is this a make it break it season for Kyler?
I feel it is.
I do too.
And even though he did get the bag, I like Kyler Murray. I think he's dynamic. I mean, he's one of one. The little guy gets it done, and he's a winner. He's a gamer. I think this is very important, especially him coming off the injury and trying to will his team and just show, hey, man, I'm here. I think the next step is leadership for him because he's a very introverted kid.
Yeah.
I think just really emerging and putting that team on his back, and obviously he does it by example, but through vocal, ability. I mean, he's a single guy. I mean, he doesn't have family, as far as, kids or marriage. And, I think right now it's a big opportunity for him to grow into his own and grow into his position and really become the player we all thought he is. And I mean, he's still a great player, but I'm talking like, this is one of the most dynamic quarterbacks we've ever seen in our entire life. And hopefully it is, man. This is a make or break it year. If they go under 500, I could definitely see them trying to make a move, because that's what they're going to owe him quite a bit of money. I don't know the exact details of the contract, but I mean, he's a $185 million guy. So, we'll see.
I'm a big Kyler Murray fan. Obviously, watching him here in Dallas, went to a couple of those state championship games and want him to succeed, want him to do well in Arizona. We got our good friend Mark Watson out there in Arizona, so I enjoy going out there and going to some games. But I need Kyler Murray to be Kyler Murray before I go out to watch the Cardinals play again. You brought this up earlier, man, and this is huge for Josh Allen. Could be good or bad. I mean, I think we may have differences of opinions here, but Josh Allen has lost Stefon Diggs. He's replaced him with Stephon. He's replaced him with Valdez Scanling. He's got a couple of other receivers that he's
New
replacing
rookie
with.
from Florida
He's got
State.
a really good rookie that's come in. Great personality on that kid. Seen those interviews, but is that going to hurt or help Josh Allen without Diggs being in the room?
I think it goes one or two ways. I think from a mental side, I think this is going to tremendously help Josh. You don't want diva receivers, bro. That's always wanting the ball. That
Yeah.
when they get the ball, they don't do anything with it sometimes. I mean, but hey, just keep feeding the guy. I think he's an emotional head case. But Josh is also a fiery, emotional guy. So maybe those personalities or they were clashing. I think this is a fresh start for Josh, but I also think this could hinder him in the sense now you're dealing with guys you don't have any idea, really no identity yet. So are you as good as they say you are? And
Well,
can you elevate these receivers to become what you need them to be? And with you being in the league for what is it going on year 6 for him?
yeah, 5 or 6.
It's
Something
time
like
to elevate other receivers instead of having receivers try to elevate you. Because before Stephon Diggs, Josh
that.
Allen was a wild stallion that was very inconsistent, and he still throws a lot of picks, but he shows signs of consistency. But it's up to him. If you want to be called an elite quarterback, your job is to elevate these guys, develop these guys into what you need them to be for you,
Okay.
not the other way around.
I'm going to take a little bit of a different stance there and say I thought Gabriel Davis was a bigger loss to me than Diggs, and I think Josh Allen really developed that kid, and they got a nice little connection over the last couple of years, and now such a good connection that he was able to be signed in free agency and
Yep,
got
went to the
paid,
Jags.
and we lose him, or the Bills lose him. I think, gosh, I think that's a bigger loss for Josh. Diggs, to your point, he'd be a little much. He'd be getting in Josh's face if he wasn't getting the ball. And, Josh would take off on a 20-yard run, and Diggs would be pouting that he didn't throw him the ball because he felt he was open. He dropped a touchdown in that playoff game a year ago.
That was a missile he threw too.
Caused them to lose the game. I feel bad for CJ. Honestly, because I feel like CJ had a good thing going last year with the Texans. They had a good chemistry, and now you add Diggs to the mix. And you know as well as anybody, you add a diva receiver to a core group of receivers that work well together, and sometimes that doesn't go so well. And so we're going to find out.
I personally think it might help Diggs because CJ, you got to look at their different personalities, right? CJ is a more calm, collected guy, doesn't necessarily get rattled or frustrated or flustered. I think CJ may be the perfect quarterback for Diggs.
Okay. Well, we're going to find out. We are going to find out.
It's the yin and yang, man. They complement each other.
Right. I look for Josh.
Those other ones were like two bulls. Just no.
My wife and I were going to go to Buffalo this year to see the Bills play. I played, my first Pee Wee team was the Hanover Park Bills. We look just like the Buffalo Bills. And so I've always had a fascination with them. I love Josh. But the flight options are so terrible that we decided not to do that.
Oh,
I'm going to
man.
unveil
Are tickets
later.
crazy?
Tickets were not. Listen, 50-yard line right behind the Bills bench was $300.
Wow. But what is the flights?
The flights were $2,000 for the two of us to go. Yeah, it was insane. And you can only fly at like 6 in the morning or 7, 8 o'clock at night. So
wow.
We're not going to Buffalo, but I am going to unveil where we are going because we made that decision last night. But before we get into that, we're going to quickly, I say as quickly as we can, we're going to go down the the divisions, the 4 in the NFC, 4 in the AFC, and we are going to rank these quarterbacks per division 1 through 4. If you want to do some explanation, go ahead. If you want to be quick, be quick. But let's start in the AFC East. Josh Allen, Tua, Rodgers, and Brissett or Drake May in New England. Who do you got?
Josh is number 1 for me. I'm going to put Rodgers as number 2 just because of the pedigree, okay. the makeup of that. Tua at number 3. I just feel Tua has a lot of great weapons. He's a great processor too. But I don't feel he does really well outside of second read. I mean, Rodgers has got a Super Bowl. Josh Allen is the king of that division right now, but hopefully Rodgers stays healthy to show he still has something left in the tank. And then you go with Jacoby Brissett, Brissett. I feel like he's a great bridge quarterback. Cool, calm, and collected guy. He can win you some games. But unfortunately, they're in a rebuild mode, so that tears him off at the 4.
What if Drake May wins the job?
He ain't winning the job.
I don't think so either. I think he may be a guy that we don't even hear about in 3 or 4 years, to be honest with you.
Oh, that's tough.
We'll find out. But I'm not a Drake May believer. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers first because of legacy, Super Bowl, and I think the Jets and what they've done in the offseason are a better team on paper than the Bills right now.
Okay.
Boy, my cat's going crazy. So then I'm going to go to Josh Allen because of his pure ability. Then I'll go to Tua, number 3 with you. Although Tua's put on a little weight, or taken off a little weight, I should say, this year. So we may see a different Tua, but that still doesn't change the fact that, as you said, after his second read, he tends to melt down a little bit. And then I'll put Jacoby or Drake May at number 4. I can't rate a rookie higher than 4th in their division until we've seen him take a snap. So that's just where I'm at with that. Now
AFC North, man.
AFC North. You want me to go first this time? I'll go first.
Go first.
I got Joe Burrow, number 1. I don't think it's close. I think if he stays healthy, he is by far the best quarterback in that division, maybe in the entire AFC. Then I've got Lamar Jackson out of respect for what he's done. Then I've got Russell Wilson at number 3, and then I've got Deshaun Watson at 4 because honestly, didn't see a lot of great Deshaun Watson last year. He's coming off an injury. Don't know what we're going to see out of him. You know, I just trust Russell Wilson more at that 3 than I do the 4. So that's where I'm at with that group.
I got Lamar at 1. He's 1 of 1, 2-time MVP, right? He just came off an AFC title game. Unfortunately, they lost. I got Russell Wilson at number 2. And the reason I have him at number 2 is because he's coming off a very good statistical year. And he's healthy. He's available. That's the key. The bottom 2 are not available. Burrow at 3, as talented as he is, Burrow has only played probably 30% of his games in the league since he's been in. And you paid that guy max money for 30% of your games. Have fun. And you got Deshaun Watson, man. He needs a different gear shift. Something's got to happen in his life to where he gets back to loving ball again because it's not the same guy we saw from the Texans. I feel like that whole situation really destroyed his confidence. And so hopefully he gets it back on track because if he does get it back on track, he's actually going to be a really good player moving forward. AFC South, what you got?
This might surprise some folks, but I got CJ at number 1. CJ at number 1. Right now I've got Lawrence at number 2, and that's by default. I don't think he'll be there by the end of the year. I've got Anthony Davis at number 3, and if he can stay
Richardson?
healthy, Richardson, sorry, and if he can stay healthy, he'll go up to number 2. I believe he's going to be special if he can stay healthy and protect himself. Mm-hmm. And then I've got Will Levis with the Titans at number 4. That's if he stays as the number 1 guy. So that's where I'm at with that. But CJ right now to me is the king of that division.
I got CJ, T-Law, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson. And why I put Anthony Richardson as number 4 because I haven't seen you play more than 3 games, bro. I have no idea what you're going to do. There's not a lot of film on you. I'd say Will Levis, his first start, he came out and he freaking balled, right? Is that the highest ceiling we're going to get? I loved what I saw. Maybe. He's a fighter. He's a dog. But Anthony Richardson is a dog too. Let's not get it twisted. I feel Anthony Richardson had all the God-given tools you want, but he's got to learn to stay healthy. And I think he will have a great, surprising year to some. But he could end up moving up to number 1. He could dethrone CJ this year.
What?
If things work out. But right now you're at 4, man. You got to prove it to me first.
Now, what if Richardson gets hurt and Joe Flacco has to step in? Where is he in the division if he is QB1 throughout the year at some point?
He's at 2.
I got him at 2 too.
Yeah. T-Law is horrible.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. AFC West, take it away. What you got?
We got Mahomes.
The king.
Justin Herbert. Still got to prove something to me.
To be the king.
Gardner Minshew.
Is Minshew going to start over O'Connell?
Maybe. I think
he
is.
Minshew at number 1? Okay.
No, I don't have Minshew. I got Minshew over 1. I mean,
you got him at
yeah. I think it's either one, man. It's 3 and 4, and then you got Zach Wilson, Bo Nix at 4. Who you got? Obviously,
know
yours
what?
definitely has to be the same thing I
This
have.
this this was the easiest. Well, this was one of two of the easiest divisions to rank: Mahomes, Herbert, O'Connell, Minshew, and probably Bo Nix in Denver. Because again, rookie. I'm not going to rate you. I'm not going to rank you until I see you take some NFL snaps because I don't really care what you did in college. We're out of there on that. We lost Brandon. There he is.
Sorry, it just cut out.
Now we're going to go to my division, the NFC East. This hurts my feelings to do this, but it's pretty obvious. Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in that division. Hurts my heart to do this too, but the division's pretty weak quarterback wise, so I'm going to go Jalen Hurts at number 2. I'm going to go Daniel Jones at number 3 and Jaden Daniels at 4 again because we haven't seen him take a snap. His obviously what they think, right? His potential could be the number 1 guy by the end of the year. Who knows? But I've got him at number 4 coming into the year.
I'm gonna flip that, and so I agree with 3 and 4, but I'm gonna flip that. I'm gonna put Jalen at number 1. I'm gonna put Dak at number 2, and the reason why I do this,
okay,
Jalen's a winner. Jalen's been further than Dak. Jalen's been in a Super Bowl. Jalen is an All Pro.
What happened last year?
Regardless of how we feel, shit, I can say that about
any
quarterback.
Last year, bro.
I
Jalen
can
didn't
say
do
that
much
about.
winning.
Didn't he still win like 12 games?
I mean,
what are we talking about?
I'm just
you
saying.
You just don't like him because he can't throw the way you like to throw. But I'm just telling you right now, he can throw. There's a reason why he's an NFL starter. There's a reason why he's making the money he's making. There's a reason why they went on a crazy run and was in the Super Bowl just 2 years removed. Yep. Like, Jalen's a winner and Dak ain't a winner.
I agree with you. Dak's not a winner.
It's that simple. I like Dak. Dak is cool. But let's talk about who's going further. He's taking his team a lot further than what Dak is doing. And he's only been in the league for 4 years. So let's give him some grace.
All right. Okay.
And head-to-head matchups, I don't think Dak has beat him either.
I have to
Besides once, I think it was once they beat him.
We beat him last year. We beat the Eagles last year.
He wasn't playing.
Jalen was playing?
No, it was the other quarterback.
I don't think so. I'm going to look it up.
You should, but I think right now, Hurts advances. Hurts got more playoff wins. Hurts was in the Super Bowl. I got to give Hurts the top notch in the NFC East. NFC North, man. This should be a good one. This should be a good one. Who you got?
I got Jared Goff, number 1. I mean, he took the Detroit Lions to the NFC title game. He won the division for the first time in 30 years or whatever it's been. He's the best play action quarterback in the NFL. So I've got Jared, the best play action quarterback.
He's not. No, he's not.
Who's better at play action?
Statistically, Brock Purdy.
Okay. Now I'm going to move on. Jared Goff, I got number 1. Love, I've got it number 2. Darnold or JJ, I've got it 3. I'm going to kick JJ out. I'm just going to say Sam Darnold because he's going to be the number 1 guy. And then I've got Caleb at number 4. Again, rookie hasn't taken a snap.
I'm flipping that. I got Jordan Love at 1. I got Jared Goff at 2. I think Jordan Love can do more with less. I think Jared Goff has to have a good run game in place. Jared can't just throw 50 times a game. Jordan Love has showed a lot of upside outside those first 8 games, man. He really turned it on. He looks like a reincarnated Aaron Rodgers with a little bit of Brett Favre in him. I think he's going to have a little bit more juice and confidence. I think that city's behind him. And even Jared Goff, as good as he is, I mean, he's got the best running back duo in the league. I mean, that's Montgomery and Gibbs is insane. Yeah, then he's got some great weapons on the outside. Just signed a $100 million receiver in St. Brown. You still got Reynolds. You still got a lot of good guys around you. I think Love is doing more with less with all those rookie receivers, and he's going to have the opportunity to elevate them just like he did when he went to Dallas. I got Caleb Williams right now at 3. He ain't even started, but he damn sure is better than Darnold and JJ right now. I mean, just talent-wise going, yes.
I'm not going to, I mean,
listen,
physical ability,
JJ,
he's not better than JJ McCarthy.
All right.
I'm not going to say that.
There's a reason why he was number 1 and JJ was number 10. Now,
that's fair.
Did he do more with less? He didn't. He had a stacked team. Now, Caleb Williams, real good improvisation, but at the same time, you can mix those 3 in for the bottom tier. NFC South, what you got?
Oh, I can't wait for Caleb and JJ to both play at the same time. That'll be great. NFC South. This is a little difficult for me because Kirk Cousins is now in the NFC South, but I'm going to stick to my guns. I got Baker Mayfield at number 1. I've got Kirk Cousins at number 2, Derek Carr at number 3, Bryce Young at number 4. And if I could take Bryce Young out of it completely, I don't even know how he ranks because he was so terrible last year, but maybe this year will be better. So Mayfield, Cousins, Carr, Young.
Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. I got Kurt at 1. He came off an MVP season before he popped his Achilles. Dude was playing at a elite level.
Pop his Achilles. Aren't you concerned about that a little bit?
A little bit. But I also feel like
my decision between the two.
I also feel like he's got some young gunners to throw to too, and he's got a good core around him.
And he'll use Kyle Pitts.
And he has the same offense that he had. Zach Robinson now taking over for the offensive coordinator. This same tree from the Shanahan tree. So he already is familiar with the terminology. Baker Mayfield, he's getting a little bit more he's a good player, but his receivers are getting a little older. Yeah. And so I would take youth over experience in this scenario just because the NFC is a little weak. You got Derek Carr at 3, and then you got Bryce Young at 4. That's really where we leave it at. NFC West, what you got?
You're going to like this. I got Brock Purdy at number 1. I got Matthew Stafford at number 2. Based on ability and potential, I put Kyler Murray at number 3 because he should be better. And then I've got Geno Smith at number 4. And honestly, Geno is a really good quarterback and doesn't deserve the number 4. But that's just what it is because this is a quarterback-rich division in my mind.
Right. I got you. I'm a flip 1 and 2. I'm giving Stafford his flowers. Obviously, he's won a Super Bowl. He's one of the most talented quarterbacks of our generation. I'll give him that. He can have that number 1 spot. Brock Purdy at 2. Brock is just, ever since he stepped in, the 49ers look entirely different offensively. He's head and shoulders above any quarterback we've had since Jeff Garcia. I got Geno Smith right now at 3. The only reason why I put Geno there is because Geno had 6 fourth quarter comebacks last year.
Yeah, he's really good
Kyler's coming off an injury, unfortunate. Kyler's the most talented out of all of them. But right now he's in another prove it year, so he's got to sit at 4 for me. So
all right.
That's really what I got.
Let's revisit this as we get on through the year so we can see who's doing the thing and who's not doing the thing. That was a ton of fun, man. I literally cannot wait for camp to start. We're right around the corner from that. Speaking of camp, what is your favorite QB storyline coming in this year?
Favorite QB storyline? That's really hard for me to say. I feel it's a lot of good stories, but I want to see how good Caleb Williams is. I want to see how good he is. I feel like there's a lot of hype behind the improvisation, the comparison to him and Patrick Mahomes. I don't personally see a comparison, but I'm just curious to see, is he going to be that superstar? Does he have that superstar potential? Or is it just going to be one of the biggest blunders in NFL history to let go of all your quarterbacks within like a 10-year span to draft a guy who can't get you past a wild card? Yeah. I'm looking to see it. I think that's the biggest storyline to me. And he still hasn't signed. So it's like, it's obvious.
Right. I've got 2 of them. One of them is Caleb. And, as I think about Caleb, when we talked about Cam a little bit ago, we talked about Josh Allen, we talk about these physical freaks, these freaks of nature that have abilities that seem otherworldly.
Mm-hmm.
Man, when you look at Williams, he's not overly big. He's not overly fast. He doesn't have an overly strong arm. Like, if you just look at him, you think he's maybe average to above average guy. Yes, he did a lot of off-schedule stuff at USC and Oklahoma and made it a lot of fun. And that's where the Patrick Mahomes comparisons come from. But is he going to be able to do that at the next level? And is that where the specialness, like what is special about Caleb? Because it's not the size, it's not the speed, it's not the arm. Is it his brain? Is it his ability to do things that you go, oh my God, how did he do that? Because that's what Patrick Mahomes is. So that's what I need to see out of him as a longtime Bear fan, lifelong. I need to see some of this special because when I just look at Caleb Williams, I don't see anything special about him. So let's see it, right? He's not 6'5" like Cam was. He's not 240. You know,
proving
he's
the
not,
pudding, baby. He's got to prove it.
I got to see it. My other favorite storyline is, as you guys know, Brandon, you know, my wife and I went to New York last year because after watching Aaron Rodgers torch the Bears and the Cowboys as a Packer, and I hated him forever, going to New York gave me an opportunity to cheer for Aaron Rodgers and actually relish in his greatness. And we went all the way there, and he had been hurt in game 1, so we didn't get to see him play. So this year, we are going to Tennessee to watch the Jets play the Titans. Sideline, we'll get 50-yard line seats. They were also very inexpensive. Right behind the Aaron Rodgers bench, so we can watch him work on the sideline, see how he does that. My favorite storyline, because he's there, is he's not going to camp right now. He's on vacation. He's doing what he's doing. The team's putting in work. And, you know,
wait,
Brandon,
he's not going to training camp?
Well, he's going to training camp, but he hasn't been at the other mandatory workouts like everybody else has. And so B. Franks and I were talking about this off camera.
Diva.
Last year, it's about the team. If it's not winning, get out of here. You know, he was bought in 100%, and now he's on vacation. He's doing this, he's doing that. He's not with his team. He's not going to Knicks games. He's not doing all this kind of thing. And you wonder, has the honeymoon wore off, and is he going to come in with this diva-ass attitude and blow this whole thing for the Jets that have built the team around him? But I'm looking forward to see how he comes off the injury, how he comes into camp. Is it beautiful bliss? And then I'm looking to see, does Caleb Williams sign a contract? And how does, by the way, Hard Knocks, how does that fit into the Bears and their psyche? Because traditionally, the Hard Knocks team doesn't do good until the year after Hard Knocks. Look at the Lions. They had Hard Knocks. Everybody fell in love with them. They didn't make the playoffs till the next year. So
I thought the Giants are Hard Knocks.
Chicago Bears are.
When does that come
out? Usually comes out a couple weeks after camp starts. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see how that does it for him, you know, from a mental standpoint, with all that attention around you and cameras in your face 24/7. How do you manage that as a rookie with huge expectations?
Right.
Like the biggest maybe we've ever seen. Well, folks, man, that was a lot of fun. I'm glad to be back. You can look for us again in about 2 weeks. I know, Brandon, you're going to the Dominican Republic to play golf with a bunch of friends, and so we'll be working around that schedule. But folks, we're going to be back, you know, somewhere every other week or so until preseason starts, and then you can look for us every week. Please like, share, comment. Follow us at YouTube, on Facebook at QB Huddle. We're everywhere you want us to be. We're going to look to be on Spotify this year as well. So maybe Apple Music. So look for anywhere where your podcasts go. That's where we're trying to get to.
Let's get it.
Really appreciate you guys watching as we'll be back in a couple of weeks discussing the rookies and how the camps are looking and all that. Thanks to the QB Huddle team, Mark, Brandon, Sean, and of course my co-host, Brandon Newey. I'm Tim Smith. Till next time, keep those chains moving, fellas.
See ya.